Bryan Kohberger's story begins far from the confines of prison walls. Before his name became associated with one of the most infamous college murders in recent American history, he was a doctoral student in criminology at Washington State University. Intelligent, quiet, and deeply analytical, Kohberger appeared to many as a man devoted to understanding the criminal mind. But behind that academic curiosity was a darkness few had seen. On the night of November 13th, 2022, four University of Idaho students, Madison Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Zana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, were brutally murdered inside their rented home in Moscow, Idaho. The attack shocked the entire nation, leaving the small college town in fear. Investigators spent weeks piecing together fragments of evidence: cell tower data, DNA traces on a knife sheath, and surveillance footage of a white Hyundai Elantra circling the neighborhood. By late December, their search led to Kohberger's arrest in Pennsylvania at his parents' home, thousands of miles away. His background as a criminology student only deepened public fascination. How could someone studying the psychology of murderers commit such a crime himself? After months of court hearings, testimony, and growing evidence, July 23, 2025, became the day Bryan Kohberger's fate was sealed. The judge, in a quiet but firm tone, sentenced him to consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. In his final remarks, the judge said there was nothing redeeming left in him, only the memory of four young lives cut short. That same evening, Kohberger was transferred to the Idaho Maximum Security Institution, a facility built to hold the most dangerous prisoners in the state. There, in a unit known as J Block, he began the next chapter of his life, one without freedom, without purpose, and without end. His cell measures barely 8 feet by 10, a small concrete box with a steel toilet, a metal bunk, and a slit for light. Every day is the same: 23 hours locked inside, 1 hour in a caged outdoor yard, and constant monitoring by guards. For the first few days, officials placed him in a medical transition unit to assess his mental state. It didn't take long before he began filing complaints. The first was over commissary access. He couldn't use the prison's electronic payment system to order food or hygiene items. Then came complaints about missing food portions, followed by something stranger: claims of voices and insults echoing through the air vents from other inmates. Former detectives and prison officials later explained that high-profile inmates often face psychological harassment from others who see them as trophies. Inside those walls, reputation replaces humanity. Kohberger's requests for relocation were denied. He remained in J Block, surrounded by men serving life or awaiting execution. For someone once obsessed with studying behavior, he had now become the subject of it. Experts described his early weeks in prison as the beginning of a slow psychological collapse. A man once accustomed to structure and analysis now found himself trapped in a system that controlled every minute of his existence. Meals, showers, recreation, all dictated by schedule. Even his thoughts were no longer private, constantly invaded by the noise of the block. Reports from the Idaho Department of Correction later revealed that he filed at least 5 official grievances within his first 3 weeks, ranging from noise to diet to misplaced items. Each complaint painted a portrait of someone unable to adapt to a loss of control, and yet life inside continued unchanged. Every sound through the vents reminded him of his status. Every locked door reinforced the permanence of his reality. Prison consultants noted that inmates like Kohberger often struggle most not with violence, but with monotony, the endless repetition that erodes the sense of time. Days blend together, weeks feel like years. For someone who once believed he could outthink everyone, prison life became the ultimate equalizer. There were no classes, no research papers, no experiments, just silence and confinement. He was no longer the student analyzing killers. He was now the case study himself. By August, rumors began circulating online that short clips of him in his cell had leaked, prompting an internal investigation. The Idaho Department of Correction quickly dismissed the claims, but the speculation was enough to remind him that privacy, even in isolation, was an illusion. Every part of his existence was under scrutiny, from the world outside, from the prisoners within, and from his own restless mind. Experts say that over time, Such isolation can lead to disassociation and mental fatigue, a slow unraveling of identity. In Kohberger's case, that unraveling had already begun. Each day inside Idaho's maximum security institution is almost identical to the last. Cold concrete walls, metallic echoes, and the faint hum of ventilation. There is no variety, no surprise, and no escape. Even the smallest human interactions, guards handing trays, routine checks, become his only reminders of life. Psychologists argue that life sentences under total isolation are designed to erase hope, not just freedom. And that's what makes it worse than death. A death sentence offers finality. Life without parole offers something else entirely, a slow, quiet erosion of self. Every morning, Bryan Kohberger wakes up to the same steel ceiling, the same silence, and the same awareness that this will never end. His punishment isn't about pain or violence, it's about permanence. For Bryan Kohberger, death would have been an ending. But this is a punishment that never ends.